There are tons of mysterious places around the world, both on land and in the water, that are difficult to explain logically. The legends of missing vessels and ghost ships drifting without its crew in these locations have made them synonyms to the mystery. Though the notorious Bermuda Triangle tops the list of most mysterious places on this planet, a number of other locations also remain mysterious as much as the former. The Devil's Sea, also known as the Dragon's Triangle and the Pacific Bermuda Triangle, is a region of the Pacific, south of Tokyo. The Devil's Sea is sometimes considered as a paranormal location, though the veracity of these claims has been questioned. The Japanese word ma no umi, translated as evil sea, troublesome sea, or dangerous sea, has been widely used to describe dangerous marine locations around the world. This means that there are many locations that the Japanese call ma no umi. On 4 January 1955, Japanese ship Shinyo Maru No. 10, Daishi Shenyang warned lost radio contact near Mikurajima. Japanese newspapers then began to label the location as Ma no Umi until the ship was found safe on 15 January. Yomiuri Shimbun showed a map of the sea with points of several other ships that had been lost in recent years, and stated that those ships were lost within the area that the Yokohama Coast Guard Office had classified as a special danger area. In the US, the New York Times introduced this incident with the term, the Devil's Sea, where 9 ships had been lost in perfect weather. Yomiuri Shimbun described the size of the Ma no Umi as follows: from the Izu Islands to east of the Ogasawara Islands, about 200 miles east to west, and about 300 miles north to south, where 9 ships were lost in the past 5 years. However, 2 of the 9 ships were lost near Miyake-jima and Iwo-jima, about 750 miles apart. In 1974, American paranormal writer Charles Berlitz introduced the Devil's Sea in his book The Bermuda Triangle. Berlitz claimed that 9 modern ships and several hundred crews were lost without traces between 1950 and 1954. In 1955, the Japanese government sent Kaio Maru No. 5 to the sea for investigating unexplained ship losses, but this ship vanished as well after the incident. Japanese authorities have labeled the sea as a danger zone. In 1989, Berlitz claimed that the Devil's Sea is also called the Dragon's Triangle in his book The Dragon's Triangle. Berlitz continued by theorizing that 5 Japanese military vessels disappeared while on maneuvers near Japanese shores in early 1942. Criticisms. In 1975, American author, at that time librarian Larry Kusch published The Bermuda Triangle Mystery Solved, debunking the Devil's Sea legend. Kusch sent letters to government offices which were related to the sea, but nobody knew about the Devil's Sea or such a danger area. The actual danger zone where the Maritime Safety Agency of Japan warned not to approach was only 10 miles to Myojin-sho. The Kaio Maru No. 5 was sent to Myojin-sho for investigating activity of an undersea volcano, and lost in 1952. The loss of the Kaio Maru was accounted undersea volcano eruption. 1 of 8 other lost ships also was accounted. Most of the 9 ships were small fishing boats with poor or no radio. The weather was not perfect. In 1995, Kusch's research claimed that Berlitz's military vessels were actually fishing vessels, and some of those listed by Berlitz sank outside the area defined by the Dragon's Triangle. Kusch also wrote that the Japanese research vessel carried not 100 personnel, but only 31, and that an undersea volcano destroyed it on 24 September 1952. In Daniel Cohen's 1974 book Curses, Hexes and Spells, it's reported that legends of the danger of the Dragon's Triangle go back for centuries in Japan. Its most famous casualty was the No. 5 Kaio Maru, a scientific research vessel, which disappeared with the loss of all hands on 24 September 1952. With such a dramatic history, one would expect there to be all sorts of information on the subject, especially in Japan. A search completed by skeptoid author Brian Dunning for books, newspaper, and magazine articles on the Dragon's Triangle came up completely empty, until a full 20 years after the loss of the Kaio Maru. Apparently, the story, even the very existence of this legendary named region, was not invented until very recently. Research also explores natural environmental changes as the cause of such controversial anomalies in the Dragon's Triangle. One of these explanations is the vast field of methane hydrates present on the bottom of the ocean in the Dragon's Triangle area. Methane clathrates, methane hydrates gas, will explode when it rises above 18 degrees C, 64 degrees F. Methane hydrate gases are described as ice-like deposits that break off from the bottom and rise, forming bubbles on the surface of the water. These gas eruptions can interrupt buoyancy and can easily sink a ship, leaving no trace of debris. Another explanation for this paranormal activity could be the undersea volcanoes that are very common in this area. It is quite characteristic for small islands in the Dragon's Triangle to frequently disappear and new islands appear due to both volcanoes and seismic activity. Because the location of the Dragon's Triangle is not plotted on any official world map, the size and perimeter vary from one author to another author. The 2013 video game Tomb Raider is set on an island in the Dragon's Triangle, which contains numerous wrecked ships and planes. It is revealed in the final book of The Unwanteds, a fantasy book series written by Lisa McMann, that the 7 islands traversed throughout the series are located within the Dragon's Triangle.